Now let's move on to the next or one of the main topic for this entire chapter, and can say for an entire year, plus 2, right? 12th class, that is Kirchhoff's second law, or can be stated as Roop rule or KVL. Clear? Understand it, guys. It's a very long section, so if you feel that I am taking the section very speedily, pause it, repeatedly hear it, understand it. Without understanding loop rule, don't expect you guys can solve the circuits which will be appearing in JEE NEET examination as well as scheme. And the good thing, or I can say actually bad thing, is nowadays these type of circuits are even asked in CBSE board examination just like last year. So we'll start moving with the definition of Kirchhoff's second law or loop law or KVL. It says or states that the algebraic sum of change in potential around a closed loop is zero. You wouldn't have understood, but if you had listened the class of capacitors or circuit of a capacitor, I had stated the same and you would have understood then. Now let's move on. What do you mean by loop? That is, once it starts, it ends there itself, then that is a loop. That much is clear, right? Now let's move on. Now so let us consider a loop. I'm going to consider a loop in the circuit form. Okay, this is my resistance, there is a supply and another resistance. For me this is a loop. Why? Let me start from this point, and this circuit is a circuit. This is going to end in the same way, right? So this is a loop. So let be this point A, this is B, C and D, and let this E be the EMF of the supply here. Clear? We are moving from A, then B, then C, D and A. You can even move, that is clockwise direction. You can even move in the anti-clockwise direction. It's okay. That means when I am moving from one point to another and then coming back to the initial point itself, then I say a loop is formed. Now let's move on to the Kirchhoff's second law. What it stated, that algebraic sum of the potential difference or the voltage, I can say, right? Potential difference change or change in potential difference along or around a closed loop is zero. That is, if you consider delta V inside or total delta V inside a loop, it is zero. It is only true for a closed loop, okay? Whenever you consider a closed loop, right? This when you move from A. Why? See, when you move from A, you go like this, then you move C, then D, and you're coming back to A itself, right? When you're moving from A to A, so what is the potential difference? It is VA minus VA. And what is VA minus VA? Zero, right? So there is no potential difference. Now we'll say in a little bit detailed way, right? What is the basic potential difference equation in terms of work? It is work by charge. Now from this expression, what can be clear? What is work in a circular motion or a loop? What is work? When you come from initial position and you come to that same initial position back, then the total work is what? Zero, right? So 0 by Q, obviously delta V will be also 0, right? Now what happens when work is 0? You also know that there is some relationship between potential energy or energy and work. Then if work is 0, then energy is also 0, or change in energy is 0. That means there is no change in energy when a loop is considered. When energy is not changing means I can say energy is conserved, right? So energy is conserved in the case of a current moving inside the loop, or potential difference inside a loop is 0, right? This much clear? So initially we dealt Kirchhoff's first law. Kirchhoff's first law is linked up with what? Conservation of charge. Now similarly Kirchhoff's second law is linked up with conservation of energy. Clear? These are some small points which has to be registered in your mind. Clear? This much clear? This is just a statement. Now how we are going to apply Kirchhoff's second law in case of a circuit has to be learned detailedly. So we'll start with a small topic, that is how to apply KVL. Now guys, it is very difficult to get to see these type of things in your textbook. Yeah? NCERT it's just states Kirchhoff's second law, Kirchhoff's first law, and they go for resistance bridge straight away. So for you guys, you will think, oh, this is only this much section. That means I just have to by heart the laws and you will go off. But it is very important how to deal this law or how to use this law in the case of circuit. That is where the importance comes up. Yeah. So listen to the classes very, very keenly. Now, so first rule when you are understanding or doing a circuit by applying KVL is first rule. That is, draw current from one or more cells as per KCL. KCL, I hope you remember. As per KCL means as per Kirchhoff's current law, you have to draw the current. I hope you remember. Suppose this is my junction, right? This current I comes up. There is a splitting of I1 means, and there is another splitting. What will be the current here? I1 goes off, then this section should be I minus I1. Clear, right? I was current coming in. I1 goes off means that the rest of the current, there are only 3 branches, so obviously the third branch or the second branch after splitting is I minus I1. This is something which you have to understand, and this has to be applied while doing the circuits. Clear? That is the first rule which you have to register, that you have to draw current for any circuit section you are going to solve. Clear? Now second rule you have to remember is choosing, right? Choosing a closed loop. That is, the circuit might not be consisting of one single loop, it might be more than one loop. So you have to select which loop you want to start with, right? So, and this loop can consist of any substances or any components, can be consisting of a capacitor, resistor, whatsoever. So second section which you have to register is you have to choose a loop, any loop as per your condition. Now third is direction of loop. That is, in the loop how you are going to move, or a loop or path you can say, in which path you are going to move along a loop. See, you might not be understanding anything which I am telling now, but while we are solving the problem, I will link these statements with how to do it as an actual problem, then you will understand. You just by heart this or I just understand, or I would say just go through it. So first what we are going to do, when you get a circuit, you will draw the current. Second, you will select a closed loop after the circuit. Third is I will consider a path in that loop. I will consider how to move inside that loop. That is, suppose that I understand here itself. Suppose this is your circuit. This is an external resistance. You are having 2 supplies, guys. Right. So in this section, the path I am selecting, I can move in this direction. This is clockwise, and I can move in anti-clockwise direction. That is, I can move, if this is clockwise, then I can move in this direction, anti-clockwise, either path. So then the question comes, suppose there is another panel like this. There's another supply like this, and there is another resistance. So there are more than one loop. So you guys can either, if in this loop, I'm not just rubbing it off, in this loop I am moving in clockwise, right? So here also I can move in clockwise, or I can move in anti-clockwise, right? There is no fussing that, oh, if you are moving clockwise in one loop, the same condition or same movement has to be done. You can move in any way. You can either move in clockwise direction, anti-clockwise direction. That is, both of the loop can have same clockwise direction, or in one you can move clockwise, the other in anti-clockwise, whatsoever, it's okay. But the path you are selecting, that time there are some more rules which are to it stated, has to be registered in your mind. That's it. Clear? Right. So that is the third point. That is, you have to select the direction of path. That is, you have to select from where to where you are going to move. Clear? Right. Now the fourth point is, that is, you have to understand our fourth rule, which is very, very important, guys, which I would say you by hearted, it's okay. Right, and that is potential drop or potential gain signs. That is signs. You just write it as signs or sign convention if you want. That is where to put positive, where to put negative. There will be number of numbers, right? Where to put plus value, where to put negative value. That and all conditions are very very important. So you have to understand sign convention while doing a circuit. This much clear? Now we are going to take a universal condition here, guys. That is high potential and there is low potential. What happens if we are going or we are moving from higher potential to lower potential? It is loss, right? There is something, see, I had a lot of money, I lost something, that's why my income reduced, so that is a loss for me. So I would take it as what? A potential drop, right? So that means for me is the change in potential is negative, right? This is something which can be understood, right? Now if I am moving from lower potential to higher potential, that is a gain, right? I am going from a lower section to higher section, so that means I am having potential gain, or I can say delta V is positive. This much clear? This is something which you have to understand. I think you guys would have understood very easily. Now depending upon these parameters, we are going to consider two criteria: what happens in a cell in the circuit and what happens in the case of resistors in the circuit. First I will deal with cells. When the cells are there in a circuit, suppose this is a part of circuit, I am going to consider this is cell, right? And see, we consider a circuit, we drew a current, and now we have chose the loop, etc. Now the main criteria is direction of the loop, right? Suppose I am going to move in this direction, that is I have chosen a path such a way that I am going to move from this side to this side. Now we know this is positive section, means this is higher potential, this is lower potential. That means I am moving from higher potential to lower potential. What happens when I am moving from higher potential to lower potential? There is potential drop, that is negative V, or so delta V, that is change in potential is negative, right? Clear? Right. Now similarly I am going to draw it again, guys. Let's make it as another color. This one is a very important point. Now another point, guys. Suppose see, this is high, this is low, but instead of moving from left to right, I am going to move from right to left. I am going to consider the circuit, or I am reading from this side to this side. So I am moving from lower potential to higher potential. What happens when I move from lower to higher potential? It is a potential gain. So delta V is positive. Clear? Now I will make it a small packages there so that you guys can remember very easily while doing a circuit. That is, when I move from positive terminal, I move, not current. While solving the circuit, while I move from higher, or I can say positive terminal to negative terminal. What? Positive to negative terminal, then my voltage or potential is negative. Clear? Whereas if I move from negative terminal to positive terminal, it is negative to positive terminal, then my voltage or potential is positive. Let's do this, or I will show with a small example, guys. That is, if there is a circuit like this, the rest of the part I am not telling you, we'll just write like this, right? And the current will be this. That is the first point which you are told. Draw the current. I drew the current, right? Suppose this is 20 volt supply, right? Now I am going to choose a path, right? I am going to choose a path like this. I am going to choose a path like this. I am going to move in this direction. So how would I write? Would I write it as plus 20V, or would I write it as negative 20V? See, I am moving from negative to positive. I am writing from negative to positive. See, negative to positive means the potential is plus. So I will write it as plus 20 volt. Rest of the part is there, that will deal later on. I just want to make you understand how to write an equation. Clear? So when I am moving from negative to positive, then you would ask me whether I can write it another way. See, suppose this is negative, this is positive, right? So the current obviously will be flowing in this direction, and suppose I am again moving in a clockwise direction, right? So see, clockwise, then I am moving like this, then I reach here, right? So now I will be moving from positive to negative, right? I am moving it, then only this loop is completed. This goes off, this off, and then I have reached here, right? So I'm moving from positive to negative. From moving from positive to negative, the potential is negative, right? So suppose this is 20 volt, then I have to write here minus 20 volt. Clear? This is what I meant while doing the circuit section. Clear? Now